Hey guys, welcome back to the Florida Powerboat Club's YouTube channel, and we have got more great coverage of the first events for 2021. We kicked it off with the Winter Poker Run to Marathon in the Florida Keys, and now picking things up with episode number 2. When we left off, our teams were just leaving Gilbert's from Key Largo. They were just about to pick up a card at the Plantation Boat Mart in Tavernier. So let's take a moment before we get started and thank our sponsors. Florida Powerboat Club's 2021 series sponsors include Blackwater Boats and their sister company, Deep Impact Boats, along with their exclusive worldwide dealer, Plantation Boat Mart. Midnight Express Powerboats, Mercury Racing Wide Open, Mystic Powerboats, Myco Custom Trailers, Nortec High Performance Boats, Performance Boat Center, and our official prize sponsor, Superior Communications, providing us with Garmin and Icon products as prizes for our poker run events. And we continue the adventure on this beautiful Friday in January by ducking in here to this private little waterway in Tavernier, Florida. That's a little town that is right between Key Largo and Isla Mirada, if you're wondering, in the Upper Keys at about mile marker 92 if you're on U.S. Highway number 1. Some gorgeous homes as we make our way down this short canal to Plantation Boat Mart, and you can see that their location is really ideal. It's nestled in here right alongside US 1, so they've got great frontage, but they've also got a lot of beautiful homes in the neighborhood and all these amazing waterways on their doorstep. That Outer Limits belongs to club member Dennis Delatorre, who also owns Plantation Boat Mart, and he said to us in Key West, you know, Stu, for somebody shopping for a boat, Plantation Boat Mart can provide a really excellent experience because you're in the middle of paradise here, and if you're shopping for a brand new Deep Impact or Blackwater or anything in their used inventory, this can certainly be a one-stop shopping experience. So at this point in time, it's all about our FPC members picking up their next poker card that we rallied, and the Plantation Boat Mart crew got us some cards made up and said, yeah, come on in, we'll do a card here. Not something that we're going to do on the Key West poker run, you know, where there's well over 100 teams. But today with our 20 some odd teams, and certainly not all of them are going to make it in here, but Eusebio in Carolina had no problem finding it, but he's got great knowledge of the local Florida Keys waterways. I love this boat. What a neat looking Sonic 32, one of the only ones that was ever built. And I love how Eusebio customized it to make it perfect for his boating lifestyle. And a little playtime for Dad and Mom here, Jackie and myself on Project 1080, getting a chance to pick up a poker card, which we won't be able to play because we can't play because we're running the event. But you know what? We just did it for fun and to get some nice shots. And I thought it was so cool how we called up Plantation Boat Mart at lunchtime while we were at Gilbert's and said, hey, why don't we come to your place and get a poker card? And they said, yeah, we can do that. What do you want us to do? And they made up these little poker card vouchers with their company logo, and then they had them laminated, and they were just perfect for the occasion. And they even had their staff make up these little handoff poker poles, and they worked from the floating dock. So it really turned out to be an ideal location for picking up a poker card. Obviously, if we brought 50 boats in here, it would have been a cluster, but, we just had enough boats to make it work, and this was a good way for everybody to identify, a new location along our route. It's right on the intracoastal route off the ICW waterway, hop, skip, and a jump to come in here. Nice to know that they're a full-service facility with fuel, so if you ever need to come in here, well, these guys are all set. I think we're running about 3 different cameras here to get this little sequence, so it's getting great coverage as we now catch up with On the Rocks. They just picked up their card. Thanks again to Kim and Natalie for doing the poker card back on our first checkpoint. That was at Hullover Marine Center when we started the run earlier in the day. Time for some big horsepower audio. Let's listen to these twin 900 SCs. So as we let our Poker Run teams pick up their Poker Run vouchers on this beautiful Friday, let's tell you a little bit more about Plantation Boat Mart, located here in Tavernier, Florida, in the heart of the Florida Keys. The Delatorre family has been involved with the Florida Powerboat Club for well over 20 years. Both Dennis Delatorre and his brother Elias Delatorre III are both active members, owning a lot of performance boats. For years, they sold the Hydra Sports and the HCB center console line here at this location, but now it's focused on luxury center consoles, including Blackwater powerboats, deep impact boats, and fishing boats, including Sea Hunt and Invincible. They have a really fantastic service department here and a great technical team to support all of the lines that they sell. And that certainly gives all of their customers peace of mind, knowing that they can bring their boats in and get regular service at any given time. And that's a big selling feature for Plantation Boat Mart. And I think their customers really appreciate the benefits of purchasing their boat here at Plantation Boat Mart. And it goes without saying that Dennis's staff is very, very professional. It's a family-run business, and they really treat their customers with courtesy and professionalism. And back to the poker cards as now Tom Taylor pulls up to the dock. Team T-Bank, Nortec 390 Sport Center Console, Quad Mercury Racing 400Rs. What a great package that is. Tom's first event with the Florida Powerboat Club, so let's welcome his team. And now it's time for Mark Fisher in his 36-foot Blackwater to make his pass here on the dock. This Blackwater is tender to Eileen's Way. That's their new Ocean Alexander motor yacht, 118 feet. We're going to see it anchor just a little later in the show. They're going to do another poker card. I think there is certainly some center console dominance going on here on this event as we now see Bill and Tammy Day roll into the harbor in their brand new Fountain 39 NX model, triple Mercury Racing 450s. Passing Tom Taylor and his crew in the 39 Nortec. I don't really have any hard numbers right now, but I'd be interested to see what the results are going to be. So far this year, from this event in January right through until our May event at the Orange Beach Powerboat Week, we saw more and more center consoles showing up. Not to be outdone by the growth of the outboard cats, but clearly, the common denominator here is Mercury Racing. Began with their entire Verado lineup of outboards. It started out, in the 300 range of horsepower. Then they went to 350 and 400. Mercury Racing got involved and produced a number of outboard models over the years. Started with the 350, then it went to the 400R, now the 450. And just recently, just a few weeks back, Jackie and I, along with a number of industry colleagues, were invited by Mercury Racing to Captiva Island, where they released the brand new Mercury Racing 300R. And speaking of 300, well, there's a set right there, but those are mainline Mercury 300s, not the R series, but they look very similar. But of course, the performance specs on the new 300R are substantially greater. And I would say now that the performance industry, as we know it, has so many models to choose from to rig all of these new models of powerboats that are coming out, whether it be a performance catamaran or a performance center console. And of course, dare I neglect to say that Mercury Mainline, Mercury Marine, has just released its new 600 outboard model. So that, of course, is a motor that's going to be more dedicated to the big, heavy cruiser segment and big, heavy center console segment. So we are already starting to see them appear in the performance circles. But clearly, I think that these 450s are going to be really the staple of most of what you're going to see on these Florida Powerboat Club events over the next couple of years for sure. Well, that was a wonderful segment here as we joined our club members. Not all of them, but at least 10 or 12 of the teams made it in here to Plantation Boat Mart. Thanks to their team for rallying at the last minute to pull together this little segment and hand out a poker voucher here to be part of our game today. Mark Fisher now making his way out of the harbor in his 36-foot Blackwater. It's going to be his team that's going to be in charge of the next poker card handoff. That's going to be from their 118-foot Ocean Alexander, Eileen's Way, and she'll be anchored right off of Palm Island at the entrance to Faro Blanco. And our next 30 or 35 miles riding from Tavernier down to Marathon, I did stop off briefly here at Duck Key and passed through the viaduct here with the cigarette just for a little recon mission. I was looking for a place for one of our club members who had some mechanical issues. I wanted to show him that it was safe to pass through here if he had to bring his boat here into Duck Key. So let's fast forward now about 24 hours as we rendezvous in Marathon on Saturday. And as producers of this content, we really want to make sure that every episode is jam-packed with some exciting high-speed aerial footage, and that's why we're flying in this marathon-based R44 today, sponsored by Day's Boat Sales. Bill Day helped us out. And for the next several minutes here of this episode, we are going to get up close and personal with all of our teams as they get out on the waterways here. The beautiful waterways, I must say, on this amazing Saturday in the Florida Keys. Starting things off here with Project 1080, got a special guest on board, the couple in the back seat. That's actually Kim, the producer of 808 Media. It's a Russian YouTube channel, and his camera lady, I forget her name, but they were a nice couple. And he spoke very good English, by the way, but he was very excited about getting a ride on Project 1080 and producing a segment for his 808 Media show. And it was fun working with them. We only spent maybe a half an hour with them, but he quickly put an episode together and got it on his channel, already up to 565,000 views on 808 Media. I would urge any of you to tune in to 808 Media. It is really a great show of, they showcase all things cool, and above all, great way to learn a little Russian language skills. And now a big welcome to Ricardo Chavez and his team all the way from Orange Beach, Alabama. 34-foot fountain, center console team in debt, and it's powered by Triple Mercury 300 outboards, mainline outboards. A great package, really. Lots of room for all of his crew. He's got 3 in the front and 3 at the helm and a couple in the back. 8 people comfortably riding on this nicely laid out 34 fountain. And the closer I look, there's actually 4 at the helm, so that's 9 on board. So not a bad way to go and enjoy a poker run. And a big shout out to Ricardo, one of our newer members. 705 miles one way to trailer here and join us. Second poker run with the club. He did the Key West poker run, but it's such a big event. Never really got a chance to meet him or hang out much, but certainly spent a little more time with him on this event. And then they joined us again for the Tampa Bay poker run, and then again in Orange Beach. So really having a good run here in 2021 with Ricardo Chavez and his crew. And of course, we see a lot of these Nortex on the Florida Powerboat Club run. This one in particular, Hans Othar Blix from Boca Raton, but says Norway. Well, of course, he's from Norway and part of that Norwegian family that loved their Nortex. And another one of those diehard Norwegians who joined us here on the poker run was Nortex Chief Operating Officer Henrik Margaard. We caught up with Henrik on the docks of Faro Blanco. Henrik Margaard is Vice President Manufacturing for Nortex High Performance Boats in Cape Coral, and that means that he spends a lot of time in the factory making sure that these Nortex get built properly and on schedule. But as a reward for all his hard work, they let him out every once in a while to go on these poker runs. Henrik, your first winter poker run, you've been on a lot of the big ones, but this would be probably the smallest event that you've attended with the club here, and you did so in this beautiful Nortex 390 Sport, Triple Mercury Racing 450s. Let's first of all talk about the boat. Amazing ride.
So this is Hans Othar Blix, a longtime friend of the family at Nortex, another Norwegian mafia joining us. He has a beautiful 390. We decked it out pretty much as we can. All the way from the second bolster, the club sport seating in the back. We have a Triple Mercury Racing 450, tops out about 87 miles an hour. Really, really nice ride.
I love the paint. I just love the way the bolsters are all laid out. Everybody's got a seat and really protected from the console as well. Now we're going to probably take a ride today. We're going to do some photography here with the helicopter shortly, but I'd say we go to Key West. How's that work for you?
Looking outside here, I think it's going to be a beautiful day, and we're all for it.
Well, congratulations to Hans for winning that Best Center Console Award here for his 2019 39 Nortec. And by the way, if you're interested in that color, it's Navarro blue. I happen to like it. It's a beautiful blue. They're from Boca Raton, and they've attended the Key West Poker Run twice before, but it was their very first time on this much smaller winter poker run. What Hans said in his video bio, I love the boating and the poker runs. It's a good opportunity to have fun with other people with shared interests. Well said. That's exactly why we do it. And going to spend some time now with Team Kansas, Brant and Jamie Daniels with their longtime friends, Daniel and Katie Cookham. Interesting story how they all hooked up for this event. I'll tell you about that a little later. Meanwhile, we caught up with Brant and Jamie dockside at the Faro Blanco. Let's hear what they had to say. Brant and Jamie Daniels are all the way from Kansas, enjoying this run with their, get it, 1996 32 skater. But I'll tell you what, they ran beside us yesterday. That boat can giddy up and go. Running great, looking great. You guys had a great ride yesterday.
Yes, very good. It was very nice seas yesterday.
And the boat seems to be maintained quite well. Do you do a lot of the work yourself, or do you have somebody help you out with that?
I do everything I can myself.
Okay. And the girls seem to have a good ride yesterday. You like going fast, obviously. It's not every woman that will get in a skater and go 100 miles an hour, but for you, it's okay?
Yeah, it's okay. You just have to protect your hair.
Now, you guys are in a pretty fast ride there. What did you have before?
We had a Nordic before, and then we were in cruisers before.
Oh, okay. So you got out of the cruising world. So did we. I call them kitchen boats. They're really great to have, but they're not very fast. But, well, we're glad that you're enjoying South Florida lifestyle here with the Florida Powerboat Club. The first event for the year. Can we talk you into coming back and doing another event soon?
Yes, we will. We are planning to be back for the next one.
Okay, Miami Boat Show Poker Run. 1 month away, guys. Thanks for being here. And just to mention that the crew that joined them, Daniel and Katie Cookham, apparently it was Katie's birthday, and they invited Brant and Jamie to somehow celebrate together and have a Florida vacation. Well, Brant and Jamie said, well, how about if we just join FPC for the poker run? And that's how they all ended up here, and they said they had a blast. Now, this couple did join us back in Key West, and in their video bio, they said that they came back to join the Florida Powerboat Club again, just really for the organization of the events. So they say it's a lot of work to get there. It's a long ways, 1,500 miles one way for them. So it really means a lot for them to arrive and be a part of a very well-organized event. So let's hear those twin 900 SCs roar. And let's say hi once again to Robbie and Anjamula from Georgia. They seem to be loving this event because it's at least their second or third time on the Winter Poker Run, but really enjoying this. Spectre 32 brought the boat out last fall, I believe, at the Emerald Coast event, and we've seen them on a lot of runs ever since. These Spectres are now built in Ohio, and Robbie's marine company, DR Performance, represents the manufacturer at the dealership in Lake Lanier. And now for the mothership of the run, this is Barry and Stephanie Henson in their 55 Neptunus team, Just a Splash. And yes, indeed, they are a registered poker run team. Just goes to show you that you can bring any kind of a boat on a Florida Powerboat Club run. And yes, thank you, my dear. That just made our day. But this boat actually runs pretty good for the size of it. Barry tells me that it's a balsa core hull, so it's a very light layup. And the boat has got some big diesels, turbo diesels, and they push it at about 40 knots cruising. So that's pretty fast for a cruiser of this size. And they can actually go the distance on some of these longer range poker runs down to the Florida Keys. Their home in Florida is right in Pompano Beach, just around the corner from our new home in Harbor Village, not too far away from the Hillsborough Inlet. Of course, the Hensons, well, they're performance boaters too. Their other boat, well, it's that big 50-foot skater, currently in, getting completely redone, new power, and ready to roll for the Key West Poker Run. I think we should have gave them the Most Spirited Team Award. And now we're going to join David Wilkes in this big 38-foot Donzi triple Mercury outboards. And what a great ride. I mean, this is a perfect boat for fishing or weekending with that forward cabin. And today, well, it's great for doing poker runs. David is a licensed U.S. Coast Guard captain and a very active hauler. He's on the highway every time I chat with him, moving boats from coast to coast. This is David's second consecutive year attending the Winter Poker Run. And another one of our teams from New York, Alex Tambalis, this 43-foot Black Thunder Team McMonster, a 1998 Black Thunder with 6'6" of headroom and powered by Mercury Racing 540s. What does Alex love about powerboating? Hanging out with his fellow team members and friends and enjoying the scenery. Well, the scenery was certainly beautiful this weekend. The weather and the waterways were perfect. Alex says this is probably his 5th event with the Florida Powerboat Club. What he loves about joining the club is just having a great time, all the parties and all the laughter. Now we're catching up with Team Time Conscious all the way from New Hampshire, Andrew and Daniela Rocco. They've been a part of the club for many, many years, and we've seen a lot of boats along the way, but this is just the second time for this brand new 2021 34-foot Victory Cat. The boat is powered by Mercury Racing 450s. Rocco says he loves the way the boat rides, and just watching this video right now, I happen to become very fond of this Victory Cat myself. I just love the way it rides in the water. It just seems like it's just skimming over the water. So I awarded him President's Choice for Best Catamaran. They certainly are a long way from home. They live in Exeter, New Hampshire. The boat is being currently stored in Pompano Beach over the winter months. Then it goes back to New Hampshire about every March or April. Rocco said in his video bio that they love going to the Key West powerboat races and the poker run. They've been doing it since 1999. They love everything with horsepower and all of the powerboat enthusiasts they meet in the extended FPC family. Let's make a very special welcome Daniel and Becky Cates from Georgia with their brand new 33 Renegade Team Naughty Naughty. This is a boat we're starting to see a lot more of. Although it's been around, this company in Miami, for over 30 years, it's a family-run operation. But last year on the Key West event, they made a big coming out with 4 Renegades at the event. Daniel and Becky Cates are from Georgia, and they're enjoying their first event with Florida Powerboat Club and their 33-foot Renegade, starting to see more of those Renegade center consoles. Daniel, you did the right thing yesterday. You said, to hell with all you guys going fast. I'm happy at 45 mph. Actually, I stayed back, and I was happy at that speed, too. It just does make for a better day, doesn't it?
The women really appreciate it.
I bet they do.
Don't get bounced around quite as much.
No, and not only that, you're out enjoying the ride. The whole point of this thing is the ride. The destination's great, but getting there is as great. And why rush it, And I kicked it back to about 45 on the cigarette, and I discovered that I get about 1.5 miles per gallon, which is amazing for a big, heavy Top Gun like that. How do you do on fuel economy with a boat like that?
It's right around with the 300-400s. It's right around 2 miles. I mean, about 2 gallons per mile.
Yeah, that's really good. Those are some serious numbers. I don't think we saw those kind of numbers ever on these boats in the past. Now we're starting to see much better fuel economy with these Mercury outboards. But let's talk about the day, because now we're sitting around and it's beautiful. We're here in Marathon. Some of us are going to go to Key West, but we talked earlier about all the options here locally, and apparently you've got somebody on your crew that has some local knowledge.
Yes, they grew up down here for a few years, and he knows the way, and so we just going to hang around, get a good lunch, and maybe go to a sandbar.
There you go. Well, there's plenty of things to do around here in Marathon. Want to thank you and your crew for joining us here on this winter poker run, which kind of has a funny name considering it's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit right now.
I am very much sweating right now.
Yes, indeed. It was getting kind of toasty dockside there at Faro Blanco. Who'd have thought that in the middle of January it'd be 80 degrees Fahrenheit? I honestly can't remember any day in the middle of January this nice here in the middle of the Florida Keys. And certainly it's a no-brainer to start thinking about going a little farther than our normal lunch run, which is about 8 miles to the Island Fish Company on the other end of Marathon. Heading to Key West was really the ideal choice. Everyone agreed, and it was pretty much unanimous that that's where we wanted to head. So we finally got everybody rounded up and started heading that direction. Of course, going to make our first pass out through Knights Key. That's part of the 7-mile bridge. Of course, that landmark by a Honda bridge, I just think it makes for a great backdrop for the money shot, and it certainly illustrates just how beautiful these waterways are here in the middle Florida Keys. Let me point out in this shot, that's actually Knights Key Channel. That is the 7-mile bridge, but there's a channel that is close to Marathon and off in the distance that's called Boot Key. You can barely see it, but off to the left is Boot Key Channel, and there's about 3 different marinas in there, all of them with fuel docks. And we've been going in there more recently, like we did on the Key West Poker Run. That's where Marathon Marina is, and Lazy Days, the restaurant. So that is a good stopping point for all poker runs heading down to Key West. So we actually did kind of like a little S course, and that was the Moser Channel passing through the center spans of the 7-mile bridge. And we're now back on the protected or the bay side. And really the reason was just to create some cool video and some nice photos for our club members and for our FPC media platforms. Well, it goes without saying that it's just fantastic when we can make boating a family day, having our sons Tyler and Maxwell join us in the Cigarette Project 1080. Of course, they like to share the driving, so we've got Tyler at the helm today as we run alongside the 7-mile bridge. And we are celebrating exactly 2 years since the restoration was complete on Project 1080, and we brought it out to this very same event in 2019. And now completing our bridge sequence, that is US Highway 1, and we're now at the Bahia Honda Bridge. So this is kind of a landmark bridge as well. And for those who are keeping track, we're at about mile marker 37 on US 1. This, of course, being the historic Keys Railway that was built by Flagler many, many years ago. And that open span of bridge that's missing, well, if you all remember the movie True Lies, well, that is exactly where they shot that big explosion sequence. So this is a good time to say farewell to our teams who are now headed to Key West, just 37 miles to go. We'll catch up with everybody back in Marathon for the party. So with the magic of video editing, let us now time travel back to Friday afternoon when the teams were arriving here at Faro Blanco Resort in Marathon. And this is about the point where the party is about to begin dockside as we continue our way inside and have a wonderful poker run reception and party, and really just enjoy the vibe of these smaller, boutique-like events with 27 teams and about 100 participants. But most of all, I think just celebrate the fact that it's the middle of January, the dead of winter, and we are here in this beautiful piece of paradise in Marathon, Florida. And special thanks to David Carey and Team Punch It, whose 37-foot Midnight Express just happens to be a nice little dockside platform for a little entertainment from his crew. Thanks, girls. And the party went from dockside to now poolside, where Miss Jackie begins to open up all of the team poker cards. And this was just a perfect venue to do it, because as the teams came off the dock, they were able to play out their hands. We witnessed a beautiful sunset, and as the day turned into an evening, you know, the great part is that we really didn't have anywhere to go. We were just going to hang out here at Lighthouse Grill, who put on a fantastic dinner for all of us. And I think it was the perfect venue to do exactly what we wanted to do, and that's award all of our winners, starting with Dwayne Reith for winning the best paint and graphics for his 34-foot MTI. Kevin and Melissa Welsh won the President's Choice Award for the best performance V-bottom for their cigarette 42X. It's powered by Mercury Racing 1100s. Here's a nice shot of that 42X coming in through Jewfish Creek on the Friday run, arriving here at Gilbert's for lunch. I think that they slept in on Saturday morning and missed the aerial session with the helicopter, so this shot, well, it'll just have to do. Andrew Rocco, along with his lovely wife Danielle, they were awarded the President's Choice for the best catamaran with his 34-foot Victory Cat. And we congratulate Hans Othar and Kristen Blix, who won the Best Center Console Award for their Nortec 390 Sport, decorated in Navarra Blue and powered by Mercury Racing 450s. And a very special thanks to Nortec High Performance, not only for their continued sponsorship support, but for also sponsoring the Saturday afternoon poolside party at Faro Blanco, buying everybody happy hour cocktails. And that very coveted President's Choice for the Sexiest Crew Award. There were certainly a lot of other eligible teams, but I chose them because they were team players when I needed a couple of sexy ladies on the dock handing out card number 1 at Haulover. So thanks to Kim and Natalie for helping us out. And for that best dressed team, well, Michael Tandoy and his crew aboard Out of Control. Just check out these matching team uniforms here that match the graphics of the 40-foot skater. Not only the team shirts, but look at the shorts. Now that is dedication. And with all the cards played out, congratulations to Team Day's Boat Sales, Bill Day and Tammy Day and their crew from Kentucky. Not their first rodeo, but it is a maiden voyage for this brand new NX39 Fountain Center console. What a beautiful machine. So that wraps up our awards, and really what an amazing poker run result we had. Sometimes they say less is more. That is certainly the case for this winter poker run to Marathon. Well, the only way I can sum up this event is to say that, you know, after having 2 beautiful days of boating in the Florida Keys, there's only one way you can improve on that, and that's to have 3. Well, Sunday morning we woke up and had, once again, beautiful conditions. The winds had picked up just slightly, but you can see here as Barry and Stephanie exit the marina in their Neptunus, and Rocco and Danielle get fuel for the 34 Victory, while Craig and Paula Ackerman do the same. But to have a third perfect day boating home, just fantastic. I spent the day with my son Tyler. Jackie and Max drove home in the car. Here we are passing through Stiltsville, and I can tell you this, guys, that is one very happy 17-year-old. Thanks to all of our Winter Poker Run teams and sponsors for joining us on this Winter Poker Run. And we're going to close off this show with this amazing shot from our FPC team, Jerry and Joe. And this is the Channel 5 bridge, mile marker 72. And they shot this using the drone while driving the car over the bridge. So, guys, it doesn't get much better than this. Just showing you how beautiful it is for us here in the Florida Keys on this fantastic weekend in January. That'll do it for this show. Finishing up with the winter run, our next series of episodes will be featuring the Miami Boat Show Poker Run, celebrating 26 years of this annual event, which travels from Miami down to Key Largo. And we are going to showcase an exciting new format where we took Gilbert's in Key Largo and turned it into a major high-performance boat show. We combined that with all of our Florida Powerboat Club poker run parties. It had some great boating in the Upper Keys, and I think it was just a winning formula in so many ways. All that coming to you very soon here, so you don't want to miss that episode. And the best way to stay tuned in is to subscribe to our channel. Click that red subscribe button and also click that notification bell so you'll get an update every time a new episode is released. Be sure to check out the website at flpowerboat.com for all of the details about upcoming poker run events in 2021, as well as membership information. You can follow us on Facebook at Florida Powerboat Club, And you can follow us on Twitter and on these Instagram pages. Thanks to all of our viewers for your wonderful comments on our page, and you guys know who you are, and I really do appreciate that. But if you have questions or comments you want to direct to me specifically, please use my personal email at stu@flpowerboat.com. I check that daily, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We have got a fantastic year planned for 2021 with members of the Florida Powerboat Club, so stay with us. Meanwhile, we're going to sign off for now. This is Stu Jones along with our producer Ryan McCoy in the Pompano Beach studio. Have fun out there, guys. Be safe on the waterways. Wear your life jackets when the time is right, and always respect your fellow boaters. Bye for now.